one tool, Ryan?
So I'm starting out with the root lift attachment that you can see right here. I'm just going into Courtney's root just like this. I love starting with this because obviously when you first start blow drying your hair, the root area is probably going to take the longest. So I go into it with the root lift and I just have it on high heat with a low fan setting. And you can see right now, I already got one side of her hair dry, and you can see the volume I'm already getting on the one side. So it's great because a lot of times, a lot of people out there, when they're styling their hair, the hardest part is getting the volume at that root area, and the root lift is so perfect for that. So I'm going to switch this out, and I'm going to take the round brush, and I'm going to pop this on. I'm going to turn it back on. Now I'm just going to take sections, like 1-inch sections. Now I'm just going to brush it through, because it is a round brush. And remember, when I show you this technique, remember it's not a curling iron. Even though I am drying the hair and styling at the same time, it's not a curling iron, but we are going to create some waves. So I'm just going in that root area, starting there, and I just pull through just like this. Now as I dry it, and I have it almost like 80% dry, and then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to start up top and keep it vertical, just like this. And I'm going to pull down, and I'm going to turn. I'm going to do 1/4-inch turns, and I'm going to let that heat. This heat's going to continue to dry that section for me, but at the same time, I'm creating a curl. So as I pull down, just like this, actually, I'm going to go through it one more time because the ends were a little wet still. So just like that, and then I'm going to do a cool shot. So we have a cool shot right on here, and I'm going to knock it down to cool. And I'm going to hold that there for a second, because now that the heat is creating that curl for you, you put the cool shot on, and now this is setting the curl. So this is what's going to give you that longer lasting result. So I'm going to pull that right out, and you can see that curl that I got right there.
Now, Ryan, I have a quick question for you. If you wanted to make your hair straight, you could totally do that with this device too, right?
Sure, of course. Okay. You can either go into it with a round brush, like I'm doing right now, and just smooth the hair out, or we have this nifty paddle brush that you can see right here, and this is super great, and I'm going to show you how to use this on the second model we have coming out.
Okay, so now another question, do you need to have your hair air dried in order to use this, or do you go from wet to dry with this?
So I always tell people when you get out of the shower, towel dry your hair like you usually would, but that's it. Just get that crazy amount of moisture out of it, and then you can go straight into it with the style dryer. Now you can go into it with it being completely soaked, but it might just take you a little bit longer. So I just say towel dried hair, go straight into it with the style dryer, and it's also so great on dry hair as well, which I'll show you on Samantha right after I finish with Courtney here.
So Ryan, if I am starting with wet hair, which attachment is best for just kind of getting it dry right away?
Like I was using on Courtney, I love using that root lift attachment because I like starting out with the root area. I want to get that lift and volume right there, and then I'll go into it. I'll take my 1-inch sections, and then I'll just start brushing it through, and as I brush it through, I'm creating a bend, right? But I'm still drying the hair at the same time. So I'll just pull it down, like I said before, just keep it vertical, just like this, 1/4-inch turns. And I like to kind of hold on to that section right there, so the more tension you give that section, the straighter you're gonna have your root area. So I'd like to give a little bit of give, so I like to hold that section like that to keep that volume up there. And I'm pulling down, just like this. Now I hit that cool shot, let that cool for a second, and that's just gonna set that curl. And I just pull it right out, just like that.
Look at the bounce.
Isn't that great?
Wow.
And so this is really kind of saving us steps.
Yes, yes.
So instead of I dry, then I come back and maybe smooth with a flat iron and then put the curl back in, it's all one step.
Yeah, because it's always so hard. I mean, everybody out there, if you're drying your hair, first of all, nobody can really juggle a round brush and a blow dryer at the same time. It's like really, really hard. Anybody can tell you that. And the back of your head is almost impossible to get to. You could probably dry it, sure, but creating some kind of style, it's just almost near impossible. So this is really cutting out that little middleman, and now you're drying your hair and styling your hair at the same time.
Now, we do have the style dryer available in a few different colors for you as well. So if you are interested in the style dryer,
just like any blow dryer you would get in the professional stores, and all of our attachments are top nylon quality attachments. So it's not this chintzy plastic stuff that you're going to be using on your hair. It's really top grade professional quality stuff.
Now, so are you alternating the curl in?
So now I'm going, yes. I was going away from her face. Now I'm going to go towards her face just to give it a little bit of a different movement throughout her head. And just kind of keeps it a little bit more edgy.
Now, Ryan, are you using any sort of product right now with her hair?
No, there's no products in her hair right now.
So would that be your recommendation? Kind of start, if you're starting from wet, just go right in with the style dryer?
Yeah, you know what? If you feel more comfortable using a, like any kind of like heat, like protectant spray or serum, or if you feel like your hair is really dry and you kind of want to put a little bit of argan oil in it or something like that, that's completely fine. It's not going to hurt anything that you're doing. This is just merely just going to really, really help nourish your hair. And it's just really cutting time in half because you are drying your hair and styling it at the same time, and it's so great. I'm using that root lift attachment, like I said before. Always start with this. Short hair, long hair, I feel like this is the best way to really start drying your hair.
So Ryan, I'm going to make you blush for a second because all the ladies in the chat are saying how cute you are and how much they love you. But at the same time, they also say how lucky your wife is to have a husband who can actually do her hair. Even though I know she's an amazing hairstylist.
Well, she is, too. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? We don't really touch each other's hair at all. We keep it in the safe zone. If I do something wrong, I'm going to have to hear about it for 2 more years.
That's probably a good rule. That's probably a very good rule.
But you know what's great is that you don't need to have a husband or a wife that can do your hair for you when you have a tool like this, right?
Yeah.
Because it's 4 different tools in one, and you're even getting all the different clips. It comes in a bag, and today you can actually pay for it over 5 months. $17.99 to get it home. Gabrielle's going to show us the bag that it comes with. This is amazing.
So
home, you're wet to a beautiful styled look.
Yeah, she was completely wet. Almost a little bit more wet than my liking than starting out. So I was telling everybody to start with towel dried hair. She's a little bit more wet, but it's great because I really like showing everybody that look how fast I'm getting both sides done. And she was that wet. And I just started out with that root lift attachment. And now I'm using that round brush, keeping it vertical. And remember, it's not a curling iron. Even though I'm creating some wave here, you're not curling the hair like you would with the curling iron. You want to start at the top because it's a brush. You want to brush out. Because anytime you take even a round brush when you're blow drying your hair, you roll it up, you're going to get it tangled. So keep it vertical to your head just like this. And you're going to turn and pull down just like that. And I'm going to hit the cool shot. Because every time you put the heat on a section of hair, you're going to create that curl. You put that cool shot on, and now I'm setting that curl. And I just let that set, and then I just pull right out, just like that, and you're going to get that texture and that movement.
Are you using the high heat setting or the warm?
It's on high heat that I was using, but I'm keeping it on the low fan setting. There's 2 fan settings. There's low and high.
When would you use the low versus the high fan setting?
You know what? It really is your preference. I feel like if you feel like your hair is just not completely wet and has been drying a little bit, you don't really need to crank it up. If your hair is soaked and you kind of want to go into it, I would take it high heat and high fan. But because I'm doing it really right now because I can't really hear you guys that well. So it's better for me with the low fan setting. But it's good too because I want to take my time and really show you guys exactly what I'm doing here.
Taking his time. I thought he was doing such a fast job.
Now, Ryan, are there other attachments available, or all the attachments that have been created for style dryer we get in the kit?
Yes, all of these attachments you'll be getting in your kit. Yes.
Okay. So, you know what some of our cuties were asking online. So you're getting all the attachments that have been made for it.
Yep.
In this setup. Remember, it all...
Way to get your hair dry, especially if you just want to have your hair smooth for the day. Just rip through it with the paddle brush, and your hair's going to be dry in no time. And it's going to create that smoothness and that shine. And it's such a nice... I mean, you can feel like the quality of this. Like you guys have it over there. Like touch, like these attachments are really, really nice. Like top quality nylon. You can tell that they're just really going to make your hair feel and look great.
Now, it looks like you're getting to the end.
I am on my last section right here.
And so we're really cutting time using the style dryer when it's all said and done.
It's all about cutting time. We want to, not only do we want to really just bring professional stylists into your house with just this one tool, but it's all about really just helping everybody out there with time. I mean, a lot of people have kids, or they're headed to work early, but they still want to look great throughout the day. We want to promote that. We want everybody to look amazing, and this is such a perfect way to create an amazing style that's so easy and so simple. And I did this with no effort at all, but you could see her before coming up. And all I'm doing is I'm just taking these sections now, and all I'm doing is just breaking them apart. This is just going to give it a little bit more texture.
So now this is before, is this air dried? Is this, what is this before on?
This is just her natural hair. This is her hair air dried, and this is the way she just looks in the morning. So we just took it from there, and then we wet it, and I just want to show you guys how you can create this awesome